bit different. People's jobs, you recall them being an accountant, but now they're claiming that there's something else. And people's memories, like the histories, past histories, there are alternate histories in which people claim that something totally different happened, and you know for a fact that it's not the way that it happened. So those are some of the differences. Sometimes they're not as noticeable, and at other times you're there shaking your head, like knowing that you are somewhere different definitely because of the differences.
All right, so when you're in this other universe, this parallel universe, if you were to do something that is totally out of character for the other Trish while you're there, let's say you commit a violent act, would this alter that universe? And while you're there, do you have the ability to totally dissolve that universe because of any action you take?
I have not had any experiences myself of totally dissolving a universe, but that's an interesting question that you bring up, because for some reason today I was thinking of, the movie The Butterfly Effect, in which the gentleman kept ending up into difficult situations, and in one scenario he did murder or harm someone and end up in jail and left that place and went somewhere else. And so if you do end up doing something that's totally out of character in one place, if you stay there, then of course you'd be led down that path of, probably going to jail or whatever.
So what happens when you're over there? What about your family, your friends? How long do you stay over there?
It all depends. Sometimes I notice being gone. It's strange because when I first noticed this was happening, it seemed like I would never return to the same place again. And now it seems like I am returning. I'll be in a place and for a little while and then go back to a place that I was previously. Sometimes even months later, here I am, in the same place that I was months ago. And what tends to happen is nobody seems to notice that I was gone. So this tends to make me believe that another duplicate me is there while I'm gone, except for in one instant I had a situation in which my father had been trying to call me for weeks and weeks and couldn't get a hold of me, and he was starting to panic and getting ready to call the police.
I guess so.
And that's the only case in which someone has actually noticed that, I was gone, and like, where in the world is she type of a situation.
So when you go to this other parallel universe, first of all, how many different parallel universes have you visited? I
estimate that it has happened to me more than 100 times. And this was probably several months ago when I estimated that, so it's probably far beyond that by now. It seems like it was happening once, every several months, and then it got so it was starting to happen more and more often. And now I never know, it could even happen once a day. I might briefly cross over to one place and then cross back over to where I started.
Have you ever brought anything back from these other universes so that you could show other people that, hey, listen, I've been somewhere else. Here's my proof.
Yes, I have, which is interesting because I wrote a blog article about it on my website, that I was in one universe and I had this magazine that it's a free publication around the Metro Detroit area that I've been receiving and reading for several months, or several years, I should say. And I picked up a copy of the magazine and, had it with me in my home. And I wanted to call a lady to get some help with an issue that I had, that I was having difficulty resolving myself with my energy healing. So I picked up the phone and called her, and couldn't get a hold of her, and found out once I did get a hold of her, here I was looking at an ad in the magazine with her website address, her email, and her phone number, and I called her up on the phone, and she was shocked that I even called her about getting help, because she said she didn't put an ad in the magazine. And it was just very interesting, because here I was holding a copy of a magazine with her ad. And another thing I noticed was when I went and searched for her website on the internet, there was no such website. Her website that I had there in the ad that I was holding in the magazine, in the new universe, she didn't even have that website. She told me on the phone that she was considering putting up a website, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? I have a magazine that says she already has one. So it was just really odd.
So when you go to these other universes, do your clothes change? Does your hair change? Does any part of your physical being change? Or does everything stay the same as it was when you crossed over?
You know what? My clothes stay the same, but what I have noticed, if I really pay attention, is that in some universes I look younger than in other universes. Like, for example, every now and then I'll notice that I look like I'm only 18 years old. I look very young. My hair, is a brownish blonde. And then I go to another place, and sometimes I look old and haggard. Right. And I have gray going through my hair, and it's kind of strange. I'll go to the place without the gray hair, where I don't have the gray hair, and I'm thinking, well, where did all that gray hair go
Yeah.
that I saw a couple days ago? So, yes, sometimes I can notice total different changes in the body.
You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour, young lady. Please stand by. X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour is Trish LeSage, and her website is www.beyond3dbooks.com. That's www.beyond3dbooks.com. And she is an energy healer of the violet flame. And she has been using self-hypnosis and past life regression for years. She's a writer of magazine articles and self-empowerment, metaphysics, spiritual awakening, ascension, and body, mind, spirit topics. Once again, her website is www.beyond3dbooks.com. And Trish and I will be back on the other side of this news break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side of this news break. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone radio show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing the week of June 9th through June 15th for the X-Zone. This week begins and ends slowly, but there's a bang and lots of energy in the middle. 4 planets are now retrograde, which means it's not the best time for economic recovery that everyone is looking for. Things get a momentary boost on Thursday's full moon in Sagittarius, which brings us a lucky Friday the 13th. Try not to mix money and friendship, as edgy aspects could turn a positive relationship into a minefield of awkwardness. You may feel full of life and energy as the week progresses. Try to avoid bluntness and hurting someone's feelings, as that could be one consequence of the full moon. On the other hand, it could coincide with a desire to have fun, go on an adventure, and live life to the max. Participate in social interactions that could go beyond superficial chit-chat to a much deeper level. This energy also helps you release that which you no longer value. The outer planets are spending a lot of time in retrograde now, and the most important times are when they are changing directions. The next several months bring an opportunity to review and revise the vision you are holding for your future. Go to a lake or an ocean and write in your journal. Prepare yourself for a possible major fight on the weekend, or just stay home and remain low-key. However, risk-taking may be a must. This is a time when you must integrate your higher and lower mind. You speak your truth, yet do it in a way that people can understand you. You can have success if you're willing to face your shadow. There is success, but there's always a price to pay. There continues to be harmony between patient Saturn and do it big Jupiter. Be willing to move in half steps towards your goal rather than needing everything all at once. Because Mercury continues to be retrograde, allow some wiggle room in your plans so they can be adjusted when needed. A Capricorn moon for the weekend suggests you need to be productive this weekend. Time to complete projects, finish deals, and make ends meet. Sunday is Father's Day. With a Pluto moon conjunction, whether your father is with you or cross over, it's time to balance the scales of your feelings with him.
And for more information about Elizabeth Joyce, or to contact her for a one-on-one private consultation, visit her website at www.new-visions.com. That's www.new-visions.com. Now, Elizabeth does her consulting by telephone as well as around the world on Skype. Once again, www.new-visions.com. My guest this hour is Trish LeSage. We're talking to Trish about, parallel universes. We're going to be talking to her about metaphysics, spiritual awakening, and much more. She's an author. She has books available on Amazon.com. Her website is www.beyond3dbooks.com. Trish, do people ever travel to parallel universes with other people?
Well, that's a very good question. I would say yes, because I have experienced situations in which I have gone with other people, and I know that I have a friend, she writes books about reality shifts, and she has experienced it as well with other people going to other universes with her. And I take care of wildlife out in the woods behind where I live, and the interesting thing is I have experienced this phenomenon with animals as well. So it's doesn't seem to be limited to just humans.
Now, when you say you've experienced this phenomenon, do you feel it coming on? Do you know how to prepare for it? Can you invoke it?